Hello and welcome back to Bebo's Kitchen. Today I want to fix for you, it's a cake that my husband made for me when we first started dating. My birthday was soon after that, and he baked this cake for me and surprised me with it. I don't really know that it has a name, but I'm going to call it a blueberry cream cake. It's a basic yellow cake, layers, and it has a cream cheese and Cool Whip frosting with a blueberry pie filling that you top it with. But now I'm gonna cook my own blueberries and make my own filling, which is very simple to do, but you can buy it already made in the can. But let's get started. I'm gonna bake the cake first because it has to cool before I can frost it. So I'm gonna cook my layers, and I will explain to you what I'm doing while I do that. We're going to start with a cup of shortening, 1/2 cup Crisco and 1/2 cup butter, which is 1 stick of butter. I'm going to cream those two things together. Now to that, I'm going to add 2 cups of granulated sugar, and I'm going to cream that till it's very fluffy. I didn't say, but your butter needs to be room temperature. It needs to be softened sort of, so you want it at room temperature. And it takes 2 or 3 minutes to beat it pretty much at high speed to get it to be to this consistency that I've got it at. Now I'm going to add 4 eggs, 1 at a time. I'm going to beat it after each egg. These are those nice yard eggs that my friends Reagan and Daryl brought to me, and I'm telling you, look how yellow that batter is. They are so nice. Now I'm going to scrape down the sides of the bowl and give it another whirl, mix it all together good. Now I'm going to take 2 2/3 cup of sifted all-purpose flour, and I use white lily. You can use cake flour if you want to. And I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of baking powder in this, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and I'm going to whisk that all together so that it's blended well. And I'm going to start adding this to my batter, alternating it with milk. I'll have a cup of milk that I alternate with. So I'm going to put part of it. You always begin and end with the flour mixture. It's 1 cup of whole milk, so I'm going to pour part of that in. I'm going to do about half of it. Those eggs are so rich, my batter looks like I've got yellow food coloring in it. It's just beautiful. Okay, I'm going to add another portion of flour, and I'm going to mix that in. And now I'm going to add the other 1/2 cup of my milk. And now I'm going to add the remaining amount of flour that I have. Now I'm going to scrape the sides down again to get all that flour mixed in. Now I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla and mix that in. And here comes my fingers. Okay, I have already prepped my pans. I have 4 pans, and I've sprayed the sides with Baker's Joy, and I'm using parchment paper in the bottom. So now I will try to evenly divide my batter into the pans and get them ready to go in my oven that I have got preheated to 350 degrees. Now I will spread the batter around evenly into the pans. Okay, now I'm going to pop these in the oven. They'll bake for about 20 or 25 minutes in a 350-degree oven. Now, while the cakes are cooking in the oven, I'm going to go ahead and cook my blueberries and make my filling to top the layers with. I have 2 pints of berries that I had in my freezer. To that, I'm just going to add a scant cup of sugar. I'm going to add about a half a cup of water, and I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to put it on high until it comes up to a boil. I want to go ahead and get these ready so that they'll be cooled down when it's time for me to frost my cake. Okay, the berries are starting to boil now, so I'm going to let them cook for just a little bit. And then I will thicken my juice with some cornstarch. Okay. Now I'm going to add my cornstarch, and what I have done is taken 2 heaping tablespoons of cornstarch and added enough water that it's about a half a cup total of them combined. So I'm going to add this now to my blueberries and cook that and let it thicken up. Okay, I'm going to turn the heat off and set this off of the heat and let it cool down, and then when my cake is cooled off so that I can frost it, then we'll apply the berries to the frosting. Alright, the cakes are out of the oven now, and so I'm going to turn them out of the pans, and my timer's going off. So it was perfect timing. They baked for about 21 minutes. Turn them over and remove the paper. I will let these cool, and then I'll be back to frost them. Okay, the cakes have cooled, and so I'm going to make the frosting for them. I'm going to double my recipe for this because I want plenty of icing because I've got 4 layers of cake. So I'm taking 2 blocks of cream cheese that's come to room temperature, so they're softened. And I'm going to mix those first. I'm going to give that a stir. To that, I'm going to add 1 cup of powdered sugar, and I'm going to blend that together. You want to make sure that you blend it well so that it's nice and smooth. And now I'm going to take 2 8-ounce tubs of Cool Whip and fold into this. You want to fold this in gently, but give it a good mix. Okay, the frosting is mixed together, and so now I'm going to frost the cake with it. I have these friends. It's a Puerto Rican couple that we went to church together for a while, and they're coming tomorrow. She is going to show me how to make oxtail stew. One of my subscribers that has subscribed to my channel, he actually is a subscriber to my son. My son has a YouTube channel. It's called Model Car Videos. And so Matthew had done a shout out for me on his channel, and this guy subscribed to my channel. And he asked me if I knew any oxtail stew recipes, which I've never made oxtail. But Lourdes had made it and brought it one Sunday. We always shared lunch together after church, and she and all of her family and me and all of my family. So she told me she had made it and had brought it, and I called or texted her and asked her if she would give me her recipe. So she told me that she doesn't really have a recipe, that she's always just made it. And so she said she and her husband tried to figure out the dimensions of the ingredients, and she said, I'll just come help you make it, show you how to make it. So they're coming tomorrow, and I want this cake so that we can have some dessert. Okay, here's the second layer. I'm really looking so forward to seeing them. They're such a sweet, sweet couple. And I just love them dearly. They're really good people. They live on the coast. They live about probably 45 minutes from where I live, 45 minutes to an hour. So I thought it was so sweet of her to offer to come help me with this. So you'll have to be sure and watch that video, because it will be me and her making the oxtail stew. As you can see, these are my berries that I cooked. And you just put them on top of your cream. This is such a good cake. Oh my goodness, my husband, he loved this cake. He was an excellent, excellent cook. This is going to be a tall cake. I need to kind of mash it down a little bit. I'm just going to do the 3 layers. I think the 4 is just going to make it way too tall. It will never fit in my cake server. So I will take the 4th layer and I'll frost it, and we'll just eat it. Okay, there is my cake. Oops, I see a spot there. I need to add some more frosting right here. Okay, so it's done. Isn't that beautiful? All right, I'll take this last layer and I will frost that. And then I can do a taste test. I almost didn't have enough berries. I'll just do half, and then I'll take out some more berries and make some more later and put on the other part of my cake. But I'll do this just so I can do a taste test for you. Okay, I should be able to cut in that. I will have to cook some more berries for this layer. I decided just to do the 3 layers. As you can see, my cake was really tall. So in order to put that in the refrigerator and have it in a cake server, I had to stop at the 3 layers. So I will add more berries to this a little later, but I'm going to go ahead and do a taste test so I can close out my video. So you all know how badly I hate having to do a taste test. It is just so dreadful. But look at that. Doesn't that look good? Oh my goodness, this is going to be just terrible. I can tell already. Don't you feel really sorry for me? Did I have to taste test this? For goodness sake. It's a hard job, but somebody's got to do it. That's awful. Absolutely horrible. Oh my goodness. I don't want to brag about my cooking or about my cake, but my goodness, I think that's one of the best cakes that I've made in a long time. The cake is very, very light and fluffy, and oh my gosh, it is so good, y'all. I really wish you were here to have a piece with me. Let's see. Do you see how that looks? It's so light. Oh, it's so delicious. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate it so much if you would. Leave a comment and I'll reply back to you. Give me a thumbs up, click the like symbol, and don't forget to click on the bell so that you'll receive notification when I post another video. I'll post the recipe below in the description box. And until the next time, I pray that the Lord will bless and keep you and your family safe. And this is Beba saying have a great day, and I hope to see you real soon. Bye.